Victor Osimhen, the rising star of Nigerian football, was sitting in his living room in Naples, surrounded by trophies and mementos from his dazzling career. That evening, he had chosen to watch a documentary about Ibrahim Traoré, the young president of Burkina Faso, whose leadership and determination in the face of his country's challenges had deeply moved him. The documentary highlighted Ibrahim's efforts to combat neocolonialism and promote social justice, themes that strongly resonated with Victor. As the documentary images unfolded, showing Ibrahim addressing his people with unwavering passion, Victor felt a wave of inspiration wash over him. He saw in Ibrahim a leader who, despite obstacles, remained steadfast in his quest for justice and equality. This reminded him of his own journey, marked by difficult beginnings in Nigeria, where he had to overcome many challenges to reach the summit of European football. Inspired by this determination, Victor decided to do something meaningful. He stood up, took a piece of paper, and began writing a letter to Ibrahim Traoré. It wasn't just a letter of support, but a human gesture, a bridge between two worlds separated by geography but united in the struggle against oppression. Victor wanted to express his solidarity and admiration for Ibrahim's work, hoping that his words could bring a little hope and strength to the Burkinabe president. As he wrote, Victor reflected on his own journey and how he could use his platform to support important causes. He knew that his voice, as a renowned footballer, could have a significant impact. The letter he was writing was therefore much more than a simple message. It was a call for unity and solidarity, a testament to the power of human connections. Victor Osimhen, sitting at his desk, held a piece of paper in his hands, thinking deeply about what he was going to write. The documentary about Ibrahim Traoré had awakened in him a wave of emotions and memories. He thought back to his difficult beginnings in Nigeria, where he had grown up in a modest environment, surrounded by challenges and obstacles. His early days in football had not been easy. He had to face many difficulties, from limited resources to fierce competition to make a place for himself in the world of sports. Growing up, Victor had often had to fight for even the most basic opportunities. He remembered the dusty football fields where he played with his friends, dreaming of a better future. These memories reminded him of how hard he had to work to overcome obstacles and reach the level where he was today. His journey was marked by sacrifices, moments of doubt, but also by an unwavering determination to succeed. In Europe, he had finally found the recognition he deserved. His performances on the field had captivated fans and critics, making him one of the rising stars of world football. But despite his successes, Victor had never forgotten his roots and the struggles he had endured. It was this empathy for those who struggle against adversity that drove him to write this letter to Ibrahim Traoré. The letter he was beginning to write was not just a message of support. It was a human gesture, a bridge between two worlds separated by geography but united in the struggle against oppression. Victor wanted to express his solidarity and admiration for Ibrahim's work, hoping that his words could bring a little hope and strength to the Burkinabe president. Dear President Traoré, he began, your determination and leadership have deeply inspired me. Watching you defend the rights and dignity of your people, I saw myself through you, fighting against challenges and obstacles to achieve a greater goal. Your struggle is not invisible to us here in Europe. It resonates with so many people who, like me, have had to overcome adversity to realize their dreams. Victor continued to write, sharing details of his own journey and how he had to fight for every opportunity. He spoke of the importance of perseverance, self-belief, and the need to believe in a better future, even when circumstances seem insurmountable. He wanted his letter to be a testament to the power of human connections, a reminder that despite distances and differences, we are all linked by our struggles and hopes. Your strength inspires millions of people, including myself. I want you to know that your struggle is seen and appreciated. In a world where so many people struggle to be heard, your voice is a beacon of hope. Keep fighting, for your struggle is also ours. As he finished his letter, Victor felt a deep sense of satisfaction. He knew that his words, though simple, could have a significant impact. He hoped that this letter would be a symbol of unity and solidarity, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is always hope and light. A few weeks later, in a small village near Ouagadougou, Ibrahim Traoré was sitting under a centuries-old mango tree, savoring a coffee while reading Victor Osimhen's letter. The afternoon sun filtered through the leaves, creating a peaceful and reflective atmosphere. Victor's words resonated deeply within him, striking a sensitive chord. Ibrahim had always believed in the power of human connections and the importance of international solidarity. As he read the letter, he felt a wave of emotion wash over him. Victor's words were not just words of support, they were a testament to the common struggle against oppression and injustice. Ibrahim felt understood and supported, which strengthened his determination to continue his fight. Beside him, Maryam, his trusted advisor, watched in silence. She saw the impact the letter had on Ibrahim and knew that this connection was special. Incredible, Ibrahim murmured, his eyes shining with emotion. A global icon like Victor OSIMHEN recognizing our struggle. This carries immense weight. Ibrahim knew that his response had to be just as powerful and authentic. He didn't want to respond with mere diplomatic formality, he wanted his words to touch Victor's heart and the hearts of all who would read this letter. He took a piece of paper and began to write, thinking deeply about what he wanted to express. Dear Victor, he began, your words have deeply touched me. They are a reminder that our struggle is universal and that we are not alone. Your journey, from your difficult beginnings in Nigeria to your success in Europe, is a source of inspiration for so many young Africans who dream of achieving their ambitions despite the obstacles. Ibrahim continued to write, sharing his own reflections on leadership and determination. He spoke of the importance of believing in a better future and the need to continue fighting for justice and equality. He wanted his response to be a testament to the power of unity and solidarity, a reminder that despite distances, we are all linked by our hopes and struggles. Your letter is a gift to all of us in Burkina Faso. It reminds us that our struggle is seen and appreciated beyond our borders. We are honored by your support and inspired by your determination. Together, we can continue to fight for a more just and equitable world. As he finished his letter, Ibrahim felt a deep sense of satisfaction. He knew that his words, though simple, could have a significant impact. He hoped that this letter would be a symbol of unity and solidarity, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is always hope and light. Ibrahim handed the letter to Maryam, who smiled as she read it. It's perfect, she said. Authentic and powerful, just like you. Ibrahim nodded, satisfied. He knew that this letter, like Victor's, would be a testament to the power of human connections and the importance of international solidarity. Victor OSIMHEN's letter to Ibrahim Traoré did not remain confidential for long. Shortly after it was sent, it was shared on social media, where it quickly went viral. Victor's sincere and inspiring words struck a chord with many people around the world, particularly among the African diaspora and young people who saw him as a symbol of hope and success. One of the first people to notice the impact of this letter was Tonya Monroe, an African-American journalist based in New York. Tonya, known for her work on social and political issues in Africa, was immediately captivated by the story behind the letter. She saw it as more than just an exchange between two personalities, it was a symbol of connection and solidarity between continents. Intrigued by the public's reaction and sensing that there was a bigger story to tell, Tonya decided to travel to Burkina Faso. She wanted to investigate the real impact of the letter and understand how it was perceived by the local people. After obtaining permission from her editor-in-chief, she prepared for her trip, determined to capture the essence of this unique connection. In Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, Victor OSIMHEN's letter had become a hot topic of discussion. In the bustling streets of the city, groups of young people gathered to talk about its content and significance. For many, this letter was more than just a message of support, it was a symbol of hope and recognition of their struggle. Among these young people, Amadou, a local activist, stood out for his commitment and passion. Amadou had always believed in the power of words and actions to inspire change. He saw Victor's letter as an opportunity to bring the community together and discuss its impact. He decided to organize a community event where young people could gather to share their thoughts and hopes. The event, organized in a central square in Ouagadougou, attracted a large crowd. Students, activists, and ordinary citizens gathered to listen to speeches, poems, and songs inspired by Victor's letter. Amadou spoke first, highlighting the importance of the letter as a symbol of solidarity and unity. This letter is proof that our struggle is seen and recognized, Amadou declared, his voice resonating with passion. Victor OSIMHEN, a global icon, took the time to write to us and support us. This shows that we are not alone in our fight for justice and equality. The discussions that followed were lively and full of hope. Participants shared their own stories of struggle and perseverance, inspired by Victor's words. For many, this letter was a reminder that despite the challenges, there was always hope and light on the horizon. Meanwhile, in Naples, Victor Osimhen reflected on the impact of his letter. He was aware that his words had touched many people, but he wondered if he had done enough. He knew that his position as a renowned footballer gave him a unique platform to support important causes, but he wanted to ensure that he was using this platform responsibly and effectively. For advice, Victor decided to consult his mentor, a former footballer turned social activist. His mentor, whom he had met during his early days in Europe, had always been a source of wisdom and support. He listened attentively to Victor's reflections and offered valuable advice. "You have already done something powerful by writing this letter," his mentor said. "But now, it is important to continue using your platform to support concrete initiatives. Words are important, but actions are even more so." Victor nodded, recognizing the wisdom in these words. He knew that he had to continue working to support causes that were close to his heart, using his voice and platform to inspire change. Meanwhile, in Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré faced internal and external pressures regarding the impact of the letter. Some members of his cabinet questioned the importance of the letter, arguing that the country should focus on local issues rather than seeking international recognition. "They don't understand," Ibrahim said to Mariam, his trusted advisor. "It's not about celebrity or international recognition. It's about showing the world that our struggle is universal and that we are not alone." Mariam nodded, understanding Ibrahim's determination. She knew that this letter was a symbol of hope and solidarity, and that it could inspire concrete actions to support local initiatives. Despite the pressures, Ibrahim remained firm in his conviction. He knew that this letter was a reminder of the importance of unity and solidarity, and he was determined to continue using this connection to inspire change. In the end, the impact of Victor Osimhen's letter to Ibrahim Traoré was much greater than they had imagined. It became a symbol of hope and solidarity, inspiring actions and discussions around the world. For Victor and Ibrahim, this letter was a reminder of the power of human connections and the importance of continuing to fight for a more just and equitable world. Tony Monroe, the African-American journalist, arrived in Ouagadougou with a clear mission: to understand the real impact of Victor Osimhen's letter to Ibrahim Traoré. Upon her arrival, she was struck by the energy and enthusiasm of the locals. The city was buzzing with discussions about the letter, and Tonya immediately felt that she was on the verge of discovering something profound and significant. Her first stop was a local market, where she met ordinary people who shared their thoughts on the letter. An elderly woman, sitting under a colorful awning, told her about the hope that the letter had brought. "It's as if Victor Osimhen reached out to us across the ocean," she said, her eyes shining with emotion. "He reminded us that our struggle is seen and recognized." Tonya continued her interviews in the bustling streets of the city, where she met students, activists, and ordinary citizens. Each had a story to tell about how the letter had inspired them. A young student told her, "This letter showed us that we are not alone. It gave us the strength to continue fighting for our rights and dignity." Listening to these testimonies, Tonya realized that the story went far beyond politics and sports. It was a story of humanity, connection, and solidarity. Victor's letter had struck a chord with the people of Burkina Faso, reminding them that their struggle was universal and shared by millions of people around the world. Tonya also visited a rural school, where she met teachers and students who told her about the impact of the letter on their community. A teacher explained that the letter had been read in class and had inspired discussions about the importance of perseverance and determination. "It showed us that even in the darkest moments, there is always hope," he said. As she left the school, Tonya felt a deep sense of satisfaction. She knew she had discovered something special, a story that transcended borders and cultures. She was determined to share this story with the world, showing how a simple letter could inspire and unite people around the world. Meanwhile, Amadou and Fortu, two young local activists, organized a cultural event to celebrate African resistance and the impact of Victor Osimhen's letter. The event, organized in the central square of Ouagadougou, attracted a large and diverse crowd. The square was decorated with colorful banners and flags, and the atmosphere was filled with energy and enthusiasm. Local artists performed on stage, singing songs, and reciting poems inspired by Victor's letter. The crowd, composed of young and old, listened attentively, their eyes shining with emotion. Amadou spoke first, highlighting the importance of the letter as a symbol of solidarity and unity. "This letter is proof that our struggle is seen and recognized," he declared, his voice resonating with passion. Victor OSIMHEN, a global icon, took the time to write to us and support us. "This shows that we are not alone in our fight for justice and equality." Fortu, a local poet, then recited a moving poem inspired by the letter. Her words, full of passion and emotion, deeply touched the crowd. "We are the children of the same wind," she recited, "and our voices will resonate until they are heard by all." The crowd responded with warm applause, showing how deeply this exchange of letters had touched their hearts. The event continued with traditional dances, songs, and inspiring speeches. Participants shared their own stories of struggle and perseverance, inspired by Victor's words. For many, this event was a reminder that despite the challenges, there was always hope and light on the horizon. Back at the presidential palace, Ibrahim Traoré reflected deeply on the response he would send to Victor OSIMHEN. He knew that his words had to be sincere and authentic, transcending diplomatic formality to touch the heart of Victor and all those who would read the letter. Sitting at his desk, surrounded by books on African history and official documents, Ibrahim began to write. He wanted his response to be a testament to the power of unity and solidarity, a reminder that despite the distances, we are all connected by our hopes and struggles. "Dear Victor," he began, "your words have deeply touched me. They are a reminder that our struggle is universal and that we are not alone. Your journey, from your difficult beginnings in Nigeria to your success in Europe, is a source of inspiration for so many young Africans who dream of achieving their ambitions despite the obstacles." Ibrahim continued to write, sharing his own reflections on leadership and determination. He spoke of the importance of believing in a better future and the need to continue fighting for justice and equality. He wanted his response to be a symbol of hope and solidarity, a reminder that despite the distances, we are all connected by our common struggles. Your letter is a gift to all of us in Burkina Faso. It reminds us that our fight is seen and appreciated beyond our borders. We are honored by your support and inspired by your determination. Together, we can continue to fight for a more just and equitable world. As he finished his letter, Ibrahim felt a deep sense of satisfaction. He knew that his words, though simple, could have a significant impact. He hoped that this letter would be a symbol of unity and solidarity, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is always hope and light. Ibrahim handed the letter to Mariam, who smiled as she read it. "It's perfect," she said. "Authentic and powerful, just like you." Ibrahim nodded, satisfied. He knew that this letter, like Victor's, would be a testament to the power of human connections and the importance of international solidarity. In the end, the exchange of letters between Victor OSIMHEN and Ibrahim Traoré became a symbol of hope and resistance, inspiring actions and discussions around the world. For Victor and Ibrahim, this letter was a reminder of the power of human connections and the importance of continuing to fight for a more just and equitable world. Victor OSIMHEN's letter and Ibrahim Traoré's response soon became symbols of hope and resistance far beyond the borders of Burkina Faso. Shared on social media, translated into multiple languages, and discussed in international media, these correspondences touched millions of people around the world. For many, they represented much more than simple diplomatic exchanges. They had become testimonies of the universal struggle for justice and equality. The reactions were overwhelmingly positive, with many people expressing their admiration for the courage and sincerity of the two men. From young Africans to human rights activists to sports enthusiasts, many found in these letters a source of inspiration and motivation. The words of Victor and Ibrahim resonated with a universal truth, reminding everyone that the struggle for dignity and justice transcends geographical and cultural borders. However, as is often the case with stories that capture global attention, criticisms also emerged. Some detractors accused Victor of using the letter to improve his public image, suggesting that his motivations were more self-interested than sincere. Others questioned the appropriateness of Ibrahim engaging in such an exchange, arguing that he should focus more on Burkina Faso's internal issues rather than seeking international recognition. Despite these criticisms, the overall impact of the letter exchange remained largely positive. For every skeptical voice, there were dozens, even hundreds, of messages of support and encouragement. The letters became a symbol of what can be achieved when public figures use their platform to advocate for important causes and inspire change. Inspired by Ibrahim's response and encouraged by global support, Victor Osimhen began to seriously consider a visit to Burkina Faso. He wanted to see firsthand the impact of his letter and meet the people who had been touched by his words. But more than that, Victor wanted to use this visit as an opportunity to launch educational and sports initiatives that could benefit the country's youth. Victor knew that his position as a renowned footballer gave him a unique platform to inspire change. He therefore decided to announce the creation of a foundation dedicated to supporting education and sports in Africa, starting with Burkina Faso. This foundation would aim to build schools, provide sports equipment, and create educational programs for disadvantaged youth. "I want children to know that their dreams matter," Victor declared at a press conference announcing the foundation. "Education and sports are powerful tools for change, and I want to ensure that every child has the opportunity to reach their full potential." The news of the foundation was met with enthusiasm, both in Africa and internationally. Many partners and donors came forward to support the initiative, recognizing the importance of the work Victor envisioned. For Victor, this foundation was a concrete way to turn the words of his letter into tangible actions, creating a lasting legacy that would go far beyond a simple exchange of letters. The exchange of letters between Victor Osimhen and Ibrahim Traoré remained a symbol of unity and hope, not only for the people of Burkina Faso but for millions of people around the world. This story showed the power of words and authentic connections, reminding everyone that even in an often divided world, it is possible to find common ground and unite for just causes. For Victor, this exchange was a lesson in humility and responsibility. He realized that his voice and platform could have a significant impact, and he felt even more determined to use this influence for the common good. For Ibrahim, the letters were a reminder of the importance of international solidarity and the need to continue fighting for justice and equality, despite the pressures and criticisms. In the end, the story of Victor and Ibrahim became much more than a simple exchange of letters. It became a symbol of what can be achieved when individuals, regardless of their origin or status, come together to defend common values. It showed that, despite distances and differences, it is possible to create meaningful connections and inspire positive change. For the youth of Burkina Faso and beyond, this story remained a powerful reminder that their dreams and struggles are valid and important. It showed them that, even in the darkest moments, there is always hope and light, and that their voices deserve to be heard. In this way, the exchange between Victor and Ibrahim became a lasting source of inspiration, a testament to the power of words and the importance of solidarity and unity. In the schools of Burkina Faso, the exchange of letters between Victor Osimhen and Ibrahim Traoré became an integral part of the curriculum. Teachers used these correspondences to illustrate the importance of using one's voice and fighting for one's convictions. Students, inspired by the words of Victor and Ibrahim, learned that their dreams and struggles were valid and deserved to be heard. This exchange became a living lesson in empathy, solidarity, and unity, showing young people that even in the darkest moments, there is always hope. Meanwhile, Tonya Monroe published her article, which was widely distributed and translated into multiple languages. She highlighted the global impact of this connection between Victor and Ibrahim, describing how a simple letter had inspired and united people around the world. The article became a testament to the power of words and authentic connections, reminding everyone that even in an often divided world, it is possible to find common ground and unite for just causes.